So we are all familiar with doing it scared by now, right? It's the idea that if something scares you, fear stopping you from doing what you want, just do it anyway. Do it scared. However, when it comes to putting yourself first, it's not the fear that's stopping you, it's the guilt. And I didn't say it's your guilt, certainly not my guilt. It's the hovering guilt. And when you start to feel that, I'm here to tell you to do it guilty. It's time you put yourself first. And I'm confident when I say that everyone in this room, at some point or another, knows what it feels like to feel guilty. Anytime you want to do anything for yourself, oh, I can't, I feel guilty. It's not a feeling that we were born with, but yet it still feels so natural. And that's because we've just been conditioned and trained to always feel guilty. And I'm not going to cite any data to you today or statistics because let's be honest, when you're going about your day-to-day life, there is no amount of data that you're going to get convinced to finally put yourself first. You're not even going to read it. That's my job. So speaking of jobs, after 10 years of opening and running and operating and chefing at my thriving restaurant, I decided to close its doors, put it on ice, and I took a 4-month sabbatical. So in the restaurant industry, unfortunately, it's very common to close because you have to. It's very rare to close because you want to. So not only did I close because I wanted to, on top of that, I took a 4-month break. It's crazy. I felt crazy, and I absolutely felt guilty. I knew I was disappointing so many of my incredible customers. Some of them are here today. Thank you. But I had to do it. I had to do it for me, put myself first, and do it guilty. But it wasn't easy. So every day when I'm on my break, I made myself an anti-inflammatory tea just to detox the last 10 years. And I took a little sip of tea, a little sip of guilt, a little sip of tea, and then just chugged the guilt. Right? I wasn't grinding, I wasn't hustling. I felt guilty. I was actually resting. What do you mean you're resting? You're supposed to work until you die. What is this rest? But eventually, that guilt that doesn't belong to me, it just goes away, and that's my attempt at a whistle. But what did stay, what I owned, what belonged to me, what I cultivated, what I created, was my joy. I didn't always know how to do it guilty. Right out of high school, 18, so of course I knew everything, right? I had a plan. 2 years out of community college, save some money, transfer to a 4-year university, graduate, get my degree, get the best paying job, right, on my first interview, and then just coast through life because, again, I was 18. I knew everything. But every day after school, I got home, took my shoes off, greeted my parents, went to my room, took off my backpack, and then I just rested at the edge of my bed. And then I just let the brain breathe. And then I can hear my parents in the next room. It starts out with a whispering, and then the aggressive whispering. And I know y'all know the aggressive whispering. It's the, I told you this was going to happen. This is your fault, right? It's all the emotions we're trying to hang in, and then just air comes out. And the aggressive whispering evolves into a full-blown argument, and then that's when I can hear them. Bills, mortgage, utilities, groceries, and then college, and then my name. So I realized what they were arguing about, which is me going to school full-time, was not helping with full-time bills, because life is expensive. And it broke my heart, and not because I thought they loved me any less. I was heartbroken because I knew it was true. I knew that I wasn't contributing. And after hearing them argue about the same thing day in and day out, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it guilty. So I dropped out. Got a full-time job, and then I helped out with the bills. Now, when I talk about my doing it guilty method, and I'm sharing that with you, I really want to make sure there's some caveats that we address. Because I know there's extremes out there. I'm sure some of y'all are here, so I just want to make it very clear. There's 2 caveats I want to address. 1, if you own a business, do not steal from your team. don't steal from your employees, right? Well, Reyna said, do it guilty, so guilty, right? I didn't say that. Who said that? 2, if you refuse therapy while harming those around you, and not because you can't afford it, you just refuse it. Well, Reyna said, it's everybody else's problem, not mine, so guilty, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about no longer being the last person that you love. So I'll let you think about that for a second. And what I'm about to do is what experts tell you not to do when you're speaking to an audience while on stage. I'm going to not speak while I'm on stage in front of an audience. For the next 20 seconds, I want you to think about that one thing that you've been thinking about and daydreaming about every single day, but haven't done it because you feel guilty. And I promise I will not pick on you after the 20 seconds. Okay, so just one thing. Ready? Is it a vacation that you've been wanting to take, but you feel so guilty with the work that you're going to leave behind? Is it a business that you want to open, but you have an existing team that you love so much you feel guilty at the thought of leaving them? Right? You know what that one thing is, and now that you know what it is, I want you to commit to doing it. And I would never ask you to do anything that I haven't done myself or continue to do. So what did I do after I got back from my 4-month break? I reopened the restaurant. I know I told you, crazy, but I did. And I changed the concept. I made it smaller menu, tiny team, but bigger me. Because I did it for me, worked through the guilt, walked through it, and made it work for me. The guilt that you feel is not a gauge of your worth. I'm going to repeat that. The guilt that you feel is not a gauge of your worth. It is a projection of the noise that surrounds and orbits you. Because to be great at anything that you do, you have to love it. And you cannot love it if you don't love you. And you can't truly love yourself until you put yourself first. So if the guilt is always going to be there, take it by the hand, walk through it, and do you guilty. Do it guilty. Thank you for having me.